Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Rising. Saagar, what are we doing today?
We have an amazing show for everybody today. We've got David Pakman. He's a friend of the show. He's going to be talking about the 2020 Democratic primary. Economist Richard Wolff, one of our favorites, he's going to talk a little about manufacturing index and what's going on in France. And then Joe Biden had a full-scale meltdown, as I'm sure you've all seen.
So
we're going to save that for a little bit later.
Yeah, and I'm going to challenge Saagar to a push-up contest. So stay tuned for that. Right. Meanwhile, of course, impeachment is a thing that continues to be ongoing. And yesterday was a historic day because Nancy Pelosi actually instructed the Judiciary Committee, surprise, surprise, to go ahead and draft articles of impeachment. But the thing that set Twitter's hearts ablaze was a little interaction that she had with a reporter during her press conference. Let's take a look at that.
Do you hate the president, Madam Speaker?
Anybody.
Representative Collins,
I was raised
reason
in a
I asked.
Catholic house. You don't hate anybody, not anybody in the world. So don't accuse me.
I did not accuse you.
You did.
I asked a question.
You did. And
Representative Collins yesterday suggested that the Democrats are doing this simply because they don't like the
I
guy.
had nothing to do with it. Let me just say this.
I think it's an important
I
point.
think the president is a coward when it comes to helping our kids who are afraid of gun violence. I think he is cruel when he doesn't deal with helping our dreamers, of which we're very proud. I think he's in denial about the climate crisis. However, that's about the election. This is about the election. Take it up in the election. This is about the Constitution of the United States and the facts that lead to the president's violation of his oath of office. And as a Catholic, I resent your using the word hate in a sentence that addresses me. I don't hate anyone. I was raised in a way that is a heart full of love, and always prayed for the president. And I still pray for the president. I pray for the president all the time. So don't mess with me when it comes to words like that.
This, of course, elicited many, yes, queen and slay queen from the hashtag resistance crowd who love these moments. Kate Halber always points out, they loved that thing when she gave Trump a standing ovation, but she did it like this, which was supposed to be how she owned him. Meanwhile, Trump is literally raising millions off impeachment. We're now in this timeline where Democrats, some of the top contenders in the primary are going to be stuck in a freaking impeachment trial. All of them are going to be stuck in a impeachment-focused news cycle that no American wants, and yet, she threw some shade at a reporter, so she must be the greatest speaker in history, right, Saagar?
I mean, Murtaugh came on our show, Tim Murtaugh from the Trump campaign. He said every single time they do this, they raise even more money. I bet you it was a historic fundraising day over at the Trump campaign yesterday.
Congratulations.
And again, I mean, I want to highlight here. They had, in their last disclosure, $154 million in the bank. That's more than the rest of the candidates combined with the RNC. They're spending like $20 million, I think, in advertising just to target all, in online advertising in order to drum up even more support. So it just goes to show that these things, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? And this Pelosi, yes, queen, I don't hate anybody, give me a break. This sanctimonious preaching, this is all political. This doesn't have anything to do with the Constitution or any of this. And it's that is what I think drives people absolutely crazy.
I think some of them really do believe that they're doing the right thing from a historic, that they have to sanction the president, that he has to be held accountable, even in private moments. These congressmen who know that this isn't great politically, but they say he has to be held accountable. But what kind of accountability is it when he's just going to be exonerated basically by the Senate?
His re-election.
And strengthen his re-election, exactly. And meanwhile, yesterday at the same time, you had a new ProPublica report on a migrant child who died in custody because of the horrific conditions. He had the flu, he was sick, no medical help was given to him. He dies on the floor of his cell there. You also have manufacturing index, which is down, that we're going to talk about with Professor Richard Wolff in the show. There are so many ways that you could criticize Trump on the merits of his policy and the way that it's damaged the very people that he promised to help. But none of that got any attention yesterday because we were looking at Pelosi's yes queen moment.
She's because she's a good Catholic who doesn't hate anybody. And then, by the way, the entire merits of all of this is about Ukraine and aid that was ultimately given, and bureaucrats who are upset over merely touching aid, which is sacrosanct. I mean, the whole thing is utterly ridiculous. And I mean, and people are catching on. It's only helping the Trump campaign. And it's like you say, if you legitimately want to oppose him, this is absolutely not the way.
Well, and here's where Democrats miscalculated. Surprise, surprise. Most people would say when I say what Trump did was not okay. Like, most people would say this was not acceptable. I think a lot of Republicans would say that. But the question of, is it impeachable? Does it warrant our whole national conversation being tied up in this for months and months at a time? Does it warrant Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren being taken off the campaign trail for probably a month in the most critical part of the primary season? No. Is this what you want Congress to focus all their time and energy, attention, and the media on? No. And that's the piece that Democrats failed to understand.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There you are. We're going to tell you what's on our radars. That's next.